What's up, guys? I was doing my bottom end and I noticed my clutch basket is toasted. Now it might look pretty good at first glance. I thought it was cool, but it's actually not. So I'm just going to show you a couple things to look for when you pull your clutch apart. If you can see here on these things are called the fingers. There's like these grooves. Those aren't supposed to be there. It's supposed to be smooth. You can really see it here. It's on all of them. And what that's from, you see the one side's worse than the other, but they both have it. What that's from is all the power from the motor and from years and years of, constantly the power being pressed up against these plates. The plates have worn grooves into the fingers, and why that's bad is because when your plates are in there, what happens is they start to rest in these grooves, and sometimes they get stuck. The plates won't separate correctly, or they won't tighten, so that can create an issue with your clutch. And the other thing I noticed is that the primary drive here has play in it. Under this plate there's actually rubber bushings, and over time, same thing, from the power constantly getting knocked on this gear, the bushings wear away. So what I went and did is got myself a brand new Billet clutch basket. You can do a little comparison here. This is the backing plate. Here's the basket. It's a lot lighter than the stock one, supposedly. When I take off the primary gear, I can see just how much lighter this is. The brand is Chariot. Got it on eBay. It was 160 bucks. I could have, you can actually repair these. You can file down these, the fingers, if you can get those grooves out. But, I feel like that's kind of a cheap, quick fix. And those grooves are only going to come back. This is a really notorious thing that happens on Banshees, just because they typically have so much power. So I feel like if I did that, that's just kind of like a quick fix, and I'm gonna have to do this down the road anyway. These Billet clutch baskets are supposed to last a lot longer, and if I have to drill these rivets out on the back anyway to get this primary gear off to replace the bumpers in here, I figured I might as well get the upgraded basket, and it came with these bumpers too. So I'll have brand new bumpers, and these are supposed to be better than the stock ones. They last a little bit longer, and they'll have a little bit less give, so that should transfer into the transfer of power from the motor to the wheel should be a little bit stiffer. So the first thing we're going to do is drill these rivets out, and what I'm going to do is take a center punch, and we're just going to whap a little guide punch for us on each one of these so that we can drill pretty much in the center there. Not too worried if we ruin this backing plate, because we're getting a new one right here. So you could either grind these off with a grinder, or you can drill them out. Now, I don't recommend grinding these off with a grinder, really, because you don't want to wind up screwing your teeth up. So this is probably a safer method to do it. Now, before you start drilling, you want to start with a smaller bit and work your way up to a bigger bit. It just always seems to work out better that way. If you start, go right ahead with a bigger bit, as soon as you start drilling, they tend to walk. They don't want to stay in the middle. So that's typically the best way to do it. Okay guys, so I don't know if you just saw that last time I went and drilled, the rest of our rivet just popped off, so we have a smooth plate there, and we can punch that rivet through, or maybe even just pry up on this plate after we get these other ones out, and plate should come right off. Something to take note too, you don't have to drill all the way through. You just have to go deep enough that it will as deep as this lip, so that the rest of this rivet will pop off, because that's what's holding the plate on there. Alright, so we have our rivets. The rivet heads are all sheared off. They're actually not sheared off, but we got them off. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a punch, and they should just smash right through. You probably could pry up on this and it would come up, but then you risk damaging your primary drive gear, and these are expensive. So let's just not do that. Let's try punching them through with a punch. And we'll get that backing plate off, and we'll see what the bushings look like inside. Alright, so we got our backing plate off. A bunch of these bushings stuck to the back of this plate, so they're not sitting in there. Some of these look okay. I don't know if it had an acceptable, like, normal amount of play or what, but I noticed some of these are smaller than the other ones. Like, if you look at those two there, I don't know if that's normal for stock or what, but the aftermarket bushings that came with the aftermarket basket are all the same size. So I don't know if somebody replaced these before and they put the wrong sizes in, but this one right here was going anyway. So any way you look at it, I'm glad that, you know, I'm doing this, and now I don't have to worry about it. You can see it's actually just falling apart. So it was on its way out anyway, and besides, the fingers were bad on the basket. So we'll take this gear, we'll clean it up, transfer it over to our new basket, and put our new bushings in there, and then we'll put some Loctite on these screws right here, and we'll find out what kind of torque we got to put on them, and that'll be pretty much it. Done deal. Easy. Alright guys, so I have my primary drive gear all cleaned up. Don't lose this spacer. Came off of there. You can clean this up. You can clean your shavings off with like kerosene or gasoline, or even WD-40. If you use water, just make sure that you dry it off immediately, and use compressed air or something to blow out all the water. You don't want any water being inside the engine or in any of the stuff in here. So you can use water, just like I said, you got to dry it off immediately, and you should take some oil and rub it on your fingers and just go over the gear just so that it won't rust or anything. So this is clean, this is all ready to go. We're going to put this together, put our new spacers in there, we're going to throw some Loctite on here, and should be it. Before we put this together, we're just going to take a little bit of oil, dab it on our fingers, and just lube up all the surfaces where any kind of movement's going to be on these bushings and all too. So you can see how much more snug these bushings are in here. There's no play at all. The last couple ones were actually really tough to get in there. I had to rub oil on them so they would pop in. So those other bushings were definitely shot. So this will be good to go now. Alright guys, so we got our flywheel all done. Just to recap everything, you don't need any special tools to do this. It's pretty easy. I know at first it might seem a little intimidating, because oh my god, I gotta, drill out the rivets and everything. But you can see, it was done with basic tools. You just need a drill, a couple bits, a punch, and you can do it right on a bench or a desk or something. You don't have to have a drill press or a vise or anything like that. I couldn't find any specific torques for these bolts in the back, so I just used the impact and kind of buzzed them down a little bit. Use some blue Loctite on there so that we know they're not going to fall off. It's super tight now. There is no play whatsoever, so that needed to be done. So I'm real happy with this. It's pretty easy. If you guys found this helpful, you like this video, and you want to see more stuff like it, please comment, like, and subscribe. If there's any kind of stuff that you guys want to see, if you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments or send me a message, and I'll start making videos on that stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. The Banshee's coming along nice. I'm going to try to get it done this week. The videos might not be up for another week or so after that, just because I got to do all the editing and everything. But it really is coming along. I'm getting really excited for this. Thanks for following, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.